Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. So listen up. Three news updates that have come across my timeline in the past day or so that I want to make sure that everybody is aware of and informed on. So first and foremost, the Carmelo Anthony case out of Frisco, Texas, the case in which Austin Metcalf was unalived. So first, y'all already know anything I share about this case going forward has already been thoroughly validated, fact-checked, it's true because it's still way too much misinformation going on, and I will not be a part of that. So, that being said, this new update. So, a lot of conservatives and racist folks, that is not to say that all conservatives are racist, that's just to tell y'all what's been going on. A lot of conservatives and racist folks have been calling for Carmelo Anthony to face the death penalty, y'all. But they said the boy need to die. And guess what? They could say it all they want. It ain't never gonna happen. Here's the update. So, Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis has said that even if convicted, the 17-year-old Anthony will not face the death penalty. And this is because the Supreme Court has said not only can you not seek the death penalty against someone who committed a crime when they're 17, but you can't even get them life without parole. That is according to the Supreme Court ruling on the 2005 Roper versus Simmons case. So all of y'all calling for it, you might as well hush. It ain't never gonna happen. He's not getting the death penalty. He will not be facing the death penalty. He won't even be facing life without parole. And according to Willis, that would not be something we could do even if we wanted to. That makes me believe that the district attorney office there wouldn't want him to face those charges nor charge him with that anyway. You understand? So, yeah, not gonna happen. Now, the Collin County District Attorney Office has not yet been given the case because police are still investigating. But Willis hopes the case is not moved to another county because he said he wants the Collin County citizens to decide on the case. Now, this is something that has been debated. I don't think that the case should be in that county. I believe it needs to be moved simply because I don't believe that that boy will have a fair and impartial trial in Collin County. His family is still receiving death threats and can't leave their home. It, all the threats they are receiving are racial based. He will not receive a fair trial in Collin County. They need to move it, and I really hope that they do. But then again, I don't know if he would receive a fair trial anywhere in the state of Texas. Hey, no indictment on Texas, but it is what it is. Now, aside from that, his lawyers, Anthony's, are still seeking to reduce his $1 million bond, and they are also seeking to have the charge reduced from first-degree murder to something of a lesser value. So there's the update on that. And one thing I need to ask all of the conservatives and the racist people who are saying he deserves the death penalty and all this hoopla and trying to get his legal defense fund shut down or garnished, y'all do know how hypocritical and racist and biased y'all are. Y'all realize that, right? Because of stuff like this. See, a lot of people have been comparing Rittenhouse and Anthony's situation, even though the crimes were slightly different and all that good stuff, and there's a lot of different details. The similarities are still shocking. In one case, a 17-year-old crossed multiple state lines to go somewhere he wasn't supposed to be in a place he didn't reside in order to go to a protest. In the other case, the student had every right to be at the track meet. In fact, he was on the roster. That has been verified. In one case, a 17-year-old had a illegal weapon, a weapon that is federally only allowed when you are 18. In the other case, the student had a knife. I already talked to y'all about Texas knife laws. It is highly likely that the knife he had was legal. He legally could have it. He legally could have had it at the track meet. He legally could have it on school grounds. We already discussed this. In one case, they raised over $500,000. In another case, they want the legal defense fund shut down. Everybody deserves a proper legal defense. And what business is it of yours who is raising money for this boy? Like, you don't got to donate. So what's the problem? Huh? Yeah. And then, of course, he was acquitted due to self-defense. They want him to face the heaviest sentence of the death penalty, but he won't face that. So sad for y'all. Anyway, next update real quick. A Florida high school teacher has been fired and will not have her contract renewed because she called a student by their preferred name. It is a law in Florida that you cannot do that without written parental consent. Now, I could see this for an elementary school child, younger ages, but by high school, you really should be able to choose what you want to be called. Like you, neither here nor there because people feel how they feel about that. I don't see why it is such a big deal to just call people what they prefer to be called. That's a matter of respect. That's just a matter of respect, okay? Even if we take out the element that so many people get hung up on of it being about transgender students or it being about students who identify a different way, it's people who just don't like their name. It's people who legally change their name the moment they get a chance to. What is the real, like, what's the hang up here, and why would you be firing teachers, presumably good teachers, behind something stupid like this? It's not enough teachers as it is, especially good teachers. And you out here firing one just because she called the student what the student wanted to be called? Okay. Okay. Well, just to give y'all some actual details of it, a parent at Satellite High School in Satellite Beach, Florida, reported the teacher and complained that she had been referring to a student by a name other than their legal name. A Brevard Public School spokesperson said in a statement that directly violates state law and the district's standardized process for written parental consent. Spokesperson Janet Murnigan said in the statement. BPS supports parents' rights to be the primary decision makers in their children's lives, and Florida law affirms their right to be informed. According to the BPS statement, the teacher who was not named by the school district told school district officials she knowingly did not comply with the state statute, and as a result, the district conducted an investigation and issued her a letter of reprimand. State statute prohibits public K through 12 school employees from referring to another person by their preferred personal title or pronouns if it doesn't correspond to the sex assigned at birth, and a student cannot be asked by a public K through 12 school employee or contractor to share his or her preferred personal title or pronouns. It's always Florida. That's all I'll say. This is stupid. I hope that teacher is able to move or be hired somewhere else. Probably need to leave Florida. If she gonna stand on business about this and about allowing teenagers to have autonomy and what they want to be called, she might need to leave Florida. She ain't gonna work there. Okay. On the bright side, the community is rallying behind the teacher. They have responded with outrage. More than 26,000 people have signed a change.org petition calling the teacher an advocate for respect and student rights and demanding her contract be renewed. Signatures include comments of support from her former students, colleagues, and community members. So there's that. Last but not least, y'all, this last one I'm going to quickly share with y'all because I just find it hilarious. A bill was passed in Texas, y'all. The Texas Senate is now requiring a child's father to pay retroactive child support beginning from the baby's conception date. SB 942, also called the Hughes Bill because it was presented by Senator Brian Hughes, easily passed the Senate with a vote of 27-4. If the purpose of our child support system is to make sure that both parents are sharing in those responsibilities and the mom who's obviously physically bearing the child, that the mom isn't left without help. The bill is now going to the state house, and if passed, it will become law. Now, I absolutely love this, Texas. I don't usually agree with Texas, but I do here, and this is why. See, y'all said that women, we don't have the right to choose. We don't have autonomy over our own bodies. No, if we get pregnant, we are forced to keep that baby. That's what y'all said. Y'all said abortion should be illegal across the board, and there is no reason for an abortion ever, and force those women to bring forth those babies. That's what y'all said. So now what this is saying is, since that's the case, well, guess what, daddy? You got to pay child support from the moment that woman finds out she's pregnant, from conception. And I love it because we tried to tell y'all. So all the men out there, now what? Now y'all still feel the same way? Still feel the same way? Some of y'all need to go ahead and be charged retroactively right now. Yep, should have been taking care of that baby since it was conceived because y'all believe it's a baby at conception and not a ball of cells. So, yeah, time to pay up. I love this. I hope it passes. Until they decide to give women back their bodily autonomy and rights, I hope this passes in every single state where abortion is illegal. Every single state where abortion is banned and illegal, I hope and pray that they pass a bill like this so that everyone can feel it. Not just that woman who has to carry a child that she does not want to carry, but also the daddy. Open up them wallets and start paying for it from the beginning, because if it's a baby at conception, that means you a parent at conception. You got to take care of your kids from conception, which would include taking care of the pregnant mother. I am all for this. So, yep, ladies, soon as you miss that first period, go on to court and get your child support in order. That's all I got. What y'all think about these different updates? The Carmelo Anthony case, he will not be facing the death penalty. This teacher in Florida, and now this bill in Texas. This bill in Texas is my favorite update of the day because, yes, Texas, as long as you want to remove women's autonomy and right to choose, somebody needs to be paying for that. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of y'all day, and I will holler at y'all later.